Second, to do I even have a claim for my car accident? Most people want to know, what is my claim worth? And quite frankly, on day one, when I first meet with somebody, I explain to them that I don't have a crystal ball. As we sit here today, I can't give you a clear answer. Things that would influence the value of a claim that we don't have a clear picture on day one is, one, what is the actual type and diagnosis of your injury? Sure, you may have gone to the emergency room and you may have some initial information that the hospital may have provided, but quite often that is at the end of your medical treatment. You may need follow-up. You may need specialist care. You may need a surgery. You may be able to heal completely, or you may have an issue that's going to linger for the rest of your life. These are all things that we don't know about until you've completed your medical treatment. Secondly, beyond the nature of the injury and how long it took you to get better, is the actual cost of your care. That's easy. We get all the medical bills, throughout the course of time. We add it up, and that's a factor that affects the value of the claim. So those two things, how much was your care? How much do you need in the future if you need future care? We have to get estimates on all those things. And the nature of your injuries and the actual impact on your life would affect the value of a claim. That makes it impossible, in my opinion, for any attorney who, quite frankly, is being ethical to give a guess at the beginning of a claim as to what a claim is worth. Now, as time goes on and we get a clearer picture about what you look like medically, or when you fully complete your care, and if the doctors are of the opinion that you're back to normal, back to where you were before this unfortunate accident occurred, at that point in time, we can give some guidance on what we believe a fair number would be to properly compensate somebody for their injury. Yeah, when an accident occurs, there's really two pieces to the puzzle. I always tell people, one, there's fixing your car, which usually if the other person accepts responsibility or their insurance company accepts responsibility, that's a little bit easier. You bring your car to a body shop of your choice. They write an estimate that's shared with the at-fault person's insurance company. They begin the repair process. And if there's a need to supplement, like they find additional damage as they start to repair, all of that usually is worked out without a lot of pushback. When it comes to the injury portion, certainly if you lose time from work, you are able to seek compensation for that. If the injury is such that it changes the type of work that you're able to do in the future, certainly there can be a claim for future lost wages and things of that nature. When it comes to lost wages, depending upon the nature of the situation, it can get quite complex. And oftentimes we may have to rely on the expertise of life care planners or vocational rehab experts. If unfortunately somebody's so gravely injured, they're either taken out of the workforce completely, or they have to change their career path. They were a high wage earner doing some type of physical labor, and now they can only do desk type work for less per hour or a lower salary. That's when we have to call in the expertise of CPAs or economists to, quite frankly, help us crunch the numbers and prevent a clear picture to the insurance company of what the proper compensation would be to somebody in that unfortunate circumstance. But if you suffer a stiff neck and back and you're unable to work a handful of days as a result of a crash, that's much easier. Normally we can gather pay stubs or get with somebody in your HR department to properly document how many days you had to take off and include that as part of your claim.